So when you hear the letters AI, what pops into your head? Is it futuristic robots, sci-fi movies? Well, the thing is, AI is already here, and it's not really about replacing jobs entirely. It's more like it's acting as this super powerful tool that's quietly giving a massive upgrade to the jobs we see and do every single day. So yeah, let's dive into what that actually looks like.
Welcome to AI for Everyone. Like, subscribe, and start learning today.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick tour of the modern workplace. First, we'll look at the big shift that made all of this AI stuff possible in the first place. Then, we'll see it in action, in sales, on the factory floor, in HR, recruiting, and even on the farm, which is pretty cool. And then, at the end, we're going to pull it all together and see the one single pattern that connects everything.
So you might be wondering, how did we even get here? Well, the story of AI's rise in the workplace doesn't actually start with complicated algorithms. Nope. It's about something way simpler. This huge shift from the physical world to the digital one.
I mean, just think about it for a second. It wasn't that long ago that your doctor's office was just drowning in paper files, right? Or you'd see a market researcher walking around with a clipboard. Now, pretty much everything is a digital record. And that one simple change, that created the essential fuel that all modern AI runs on. And that fuel, of course, is data.
So here's the key takeaway. It's this really simple three-step process. Step 1, we digitize stuff. We turn real-world actions into digital records. Step 2, those records become data. And Step 3, that data is what fuels the AI, allowing it to learn and predict and act. This right here, this is the foundation for everything we're about to look at. All right, first stop on our tour. Let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to start with two fields that seem totally different, sales and manufacturing. And we'll see how AI is giving both of them this huge upgrade in, well, precision.
Okay, so in the world of sales, you can basically sum up the AI upgrade with this one killer metaphor. It's all about changing the game from just, throwing a bunch of stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks, to something way more like targeted, surgical precision.
Right, so the old way, that was the shotgun approach. It was a pure numbers game. You've got a list of 100 names, and you just start dialing, right? Hoping you get lucky. The AI upgrade, which uses machine learning to find patterns in data, is the sniper. It looks at all that data and basically tells the salesperson, hey, hold up, forget the intern at that small shop for a minute. Call the CEO of this big company first. That's your best shot.
And the result? I mean, it's a huge jump in efficiency. Suddenly, sales teams aren't wasting hours and hours chasing dead ends. They get to focus all their energy and skill on the people who are actually most likely to buy.
Okay, so let's jump from the sales floor over to the factory floor. Here, AI isn't focused on prioritizing people. Instead, it's all about spotting tiny imperfections with this almost superhuman ability. Let's call it the eagle eye. Just picture the old assembly line, right? You've got a person whose entire job is to stare at thousands of coffee mugs rolling by, looking for tiny, tiny scratches. It's super repetitive, it's tiring, and, of course, human eyes are going to miss things. But the AI upgrade? It uses computer vision, which is basically just teaching a computer how to see. A camera snaps a picture of every single mug, and an algorithm can spot a dent or a scratch in a millisecond. And the crazy part? It never gets tired, it never even blinks.
And the result of that is a total revolution in quality control. It's way cheaper than paying a whole team of people to do it. It's faster than any human could ever hope to be. And it is so much more accurate. Okay, so we've seen how AI brings this crazy precision to sales and manufacturing. Now let's look at how it helps find the signal and the noise in fields that are all about understanding people, things like recruiting and marketing.
So when it comes to recruiting, AI basically acts like a gatekeeper. And it does two really different jobs. One is all about strategy, and the other is about automation. Let's break that down a bit.
So you've got these two sides to the coin. On one side, there's data science. This is where you use data to answer the big strategic questions. It looks at the whole hiring process and asks stuff like, hey, where are we losing all the good people? Then on the other side, you have machine learning. This is the automation part. It does the grunt work, It sifts through thousands of resumes and flags the very best ones for an actual human to look at.
But of course, this brings up a really important question, right? If you're going to teach an AI to make decisions based on what you've done in the past, well, you have to be super careful about the data you give it. That's the real challenge, making sure the data is clean and actually reflects what you're trying to achieve.
Because here's the thing you got to remember. An AI is basically just a mirror. It reflects the data you show it. So if your historical data is full of bias, guess what? Your AI is going to be biased too. And this is why the human element is actually more critical than ever, not just for doing the final interviews, but for carefully choosing the data and setting the goals for the AI from the very start.
All right, let's switch gears to marketing. We see a really similar pattern here, but in this case, the AI is less of a gatekeeper and, well, it's more like a mind reader. It's trying to predict exactly what you want to see next.
And again, you've got those two sides of the coin. Data science is looking at the big picture, doing things like A/B testing. Hey, let's see if the red buy button gets more clicks than the green one. It's about what works for people in general. But then the machine learning part, that gets personal. It notices your specific habits. It sees that you seem to only ever buy blue shirts. And so, boom, it starts showing you ads for more blue shirts. It's all about making your experience feel more relevant.
Okay, for our last example, we are going somewhere you probably would not expect to find bleeding-edge AI. We're heading to the farm. Because, believe it or not, modern farming is transforming from just fields of green into massive fields of data. So think about how farmers used to deal with weeds. It was, well, inefficient. They'd just spray herbicide over the entire field. Sure, it killed the weeds, but it cost a fortune and dumped a ton of chemicals where they weren't even needed. Now check out the AI upgrade. It's incredible. You have a tractor with computer vision driving through the field. Its camera spots one single weed, and it shoots a tiny, precise dose of herbicide only on that weed.
And the results of this are it's a perfect win-win-win scenario. The farmer saves a ton of money on herbicide, it's so much better for the environment, and it leads to healthier, better crops for all of us. You just can't beat that.
Okay, let's recap for a second. We've seen AI prioritize sales leads, spot microscopic flaws in coffee mugs, screen thousands of resumes, and zap individual weeds on a farm. On the surface, these seem like completely different jobs, right? But if you take a step back and zoom out, you start to see that they all follow the exact same pattern.
And this is it. This is the secret pattern behind everything we've talked about. Just look across the columns for each job. In every single case, it's the same two-step move. First, data science gives you the big picture strategy. It tells you where to aim. Then, machine learning comes in and automates a very specific task based on that strategy. It pulls the trigger. This two-part dance between strategy and automation, that is the universal job upgrade.
So all of this brings us to one final and really important question. If AI is getting so good at optimizing all these processes and automating these tasks, what's left for us? What does that mean for you and me? What is the most valuable, the most uniquely human skill that we can bring to the table in this new, upgraded world of work?